Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lorelei and you're watching my YouTube channel where I show all kinds of crafty things. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these adorable little paperclip tags. I'm calling this the double pocket paperclip tag. And I made a couple of different options here. The first one, I used papers from Vicki Boutin, and there's a little exterior pocket on the front. Here I am showing you the back. And then there's also a second pocket inside the tag, and I'll show you that in a second as well. I'm doing a voiceover today because I just didn't have the opportunity to record with sound. There was too much going on around the house. And here is the side pocket, tuck pocket. So yeah, I am sure that people have done this sort of thing before. I don't believe I've ever seen it attached to a large paper clip like this. So you're seeing my very first YouTube tutorial. I don't know how it's going to go, but I did buy a $40 microphone to make this happen, and it took me a good half an hour to get it to work. So here we are. There's a little dangle on the paper clip here. I just used a chipboard that I covered with some washi and a sticker, and then there's some ribbon. In the second one, I used papers from Maggie Holmes. There is a little charm that holds a washi tape sample. And in the front pocket, there is some ephemera. Things that you would want to share with a pen pal, maybe. These little pocket paper clips would be great either on the front of a journal or even on the front of a pen pal flip book or folder. I'm just showing you all the little bits and pieces that I shoved inside the pockets. I also have more stuff on the interior pocket. This is going to be a really fun, super quick, easy tutorial that anyone can do. I do use a scoreboard and some other tools such as a hole punch and some riveting tools, and also some pliers to open and close the jump ring that I used for the charms. So let's go ahead and get started. This one is cool. I used some elastic for that gold bow, and I also used a silk ribbon or tassel. So here I'm going to bring out my scoreboard. I'm starting with a piece of 12 by 12 paper, and I'm using Fancy Pants Designs paper in the Memory Lane line. You want to cut a strip off of your 12 by 12 paper so that the pattern is upright along the vertical edge, and you want that to be 3 1/4 by 12. Now you can make your tag any length that you want. If you want it to be shorter, then go for it. I'm just cutting off the branding strip of my paper. So I'm turning it so that the print is face up and measuring at 3 1/4 and slicing off a strip. Here I am with my 3 1/4 by 12 inch paper. I'm just folding it in half so that the floral pattern is on the outside of the tag, and I'm just burnishing that with my bone folder. Now I'm using these huge gold paper clips. I'm sure you can buy these at a bunch of different places. I got mine at Hobby Lobby. Oh, I actually have to trim this a little bit because, of course, I didn't do a very good job using my cutter. And actually, I'm going to bring the scoreboard back and trim it even more because it's crooked. So once I do that, we can get going here. There we go. So now I'm going to slip the paper into the paper clip and I want my paperclip to clip on from the right side. If you wanted your paperclip to clip from the left side, you would just do it. You would flip the paperclip over and do it that way. But it's totally your preference, whichever way you want to clip the clip on to whatever you're clipping it on. So I'm just sliding it in to the paperclip and pulling the paperclip up to that fold. And I want it to be very snug against that fold, and then to make that even more snug, I'm just using my bone folder here in a second to burnish that a little bit more. I don't know if that's really necessary to do, but that's what I did, because I'm going to add some eyelets. Here I'm using a 2-inch punch to punch a thumb notch, and I know it's not center because I want to leave some room for an exterior pocket. I'm grabbing my glue. I use Barely Arts glue, and I'm going to run a small line of glue along the left edge and along the bottom of the tag to close up the pocket. Very easy. You can also use double-sided tape here if you'd like, but I want to maximize the size of my pocket, so I'm using glue, a small bit of glue. And now my pocket is completely closed, and I'm just snugging that up again so that I can attach my eyelets. Here I'm using a hole punch, and I'm just eyeballing this to do 2 eyelets at the top. Relatively close to that paperclip too. So I bought these eyelets on Amazon. I believe they came with the eyelet tool as well that you'll see here in a minute. So I'm just popping those eyelets into the holes, and I will go ahead and use the tool. I never had really great luck with the We Are Memory Keepers eyelet tool, which is why I bought this one, and actually this one really works great. It's perfect. And I'll show you the back here in a second. Yep, see? Now you can embellish, okay, that I'm pointing out where I'm going to put the pocket. This is a 6x8 piece of paper from the same paper line, and this is going to be my exterior pocket. And I'm going to cut this down to a piece that is 4 inches wide by about, well, it all depends on where you put your thumb notch. Mine ended up being, let me see if I can measure it here. Mine is 3.5 inches in height. So that will accommodate, that 4-inch width will accommodate 1/2 inch scores on 3 sides of the pocket. So I'm just slicing that, and now I'm ready to score. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch around 3 of the sides, the 2 sides and along the bottom. And then I'm going to do that handy dandy trick where you kind of cut the corners out to accommodate those flaps. It's a very easy process. Just take your scissors and cut at a diagonal and just cut off those corners. And now the paper won't become too bulky in those areas once you get the pocket folded. My pocket fits along the bottom edge of the tag, just inside the edges. But if you want to bring yours all the way to the edge, you can do that too. This is just how I ended up doing it. And I'm just taking a thumb notch out of the top of the pocket there. Scoreboard's going away, and I'm pulling out the glue so that I can glue this onto the front. And there you have it. You can embellish this any way you want. You can add an additional pocket or a larger pocket if you have more stuff you want to put in there, but this gusseted type of pocket allows for you to add a bunch of stuff in that exterior spot. So there we go. I think the next thing I'm going to do is grab that piece of gold elastic, and I'm going to embellish the eyelets at the top. You can do all kinds of things in this situation too. It could be thread, it could be that cotton barber pole kind of stripy cord. I just chose this because I had it on hand close by. And I'm just tying this in a bow. Beautiful. Now we're almost done. At this point, we're just going to decorate the pocket. I'm pulling out some ephemera that I have from the same line of Memory Lane from Fancy Pants Designs. And I'm gonna go through this little pile and see if I can find something cute for the front cover or the front pocket. And pretty soon I'm gonna pick that rabbit. You see me, obviously the tag is too big, so I'm thinking about what else I can do, and I've decided at this point to use one of these labels on the front, and I'm going to fussy cut that rabbit out of the tag and put him on the front of that label. This is all on the fly. I did not plan any of the decorating beforehand. That's kind of how I operate. I just work along and see what works and what doesn't, and then just trust my first instinct. So I'm sorry this is out of frame, but you know how to fussy cut, I'm sure. It is so cute and perfect for spring. It is a very rainy, cold day here though, so I don't know where the spring went, but it went away for a few. So you can kind of bump these little ephemera pieces up with some foam tape if you want. I believe I did that on my first two that I showed you, but in this case I'm going to just use glue to glue them down. I'm gonna keep this one fairly flat. Very simple concept here. I'm just decorating, pulling out more ephemera. I think I'm gonna glue that label down next. And pop that onto the front pocket. Just center it. And I think it would be cute to have a couple of little enamel dots in the corner, so I grab those in a second here. I think I'm going to use kind of a dark gray, the dark gray blue color, a pink one, and one of the cream ones, and I'm just popping them onto that label on the corner. And I'm readjusting it because it has a mind of its own. Very nice. And then I feel like it needs a little bit something in that bottom right corner, so I'm just grabbing some puffy stickers. Sorry, this is out of frame. And I'm gonna stick on a little mushroom, and a little leafy sprig in the bottom corner, just to give it a little bit of interest there. Beautiful. I get all this stuff out of the way, and I'm going to set this little pointy finger aside because I really like that, and I think I'm going to add it into some of the ephemera pieces that I'm going to put into the pocket, because I'm going to do that too during this video. Grabbing my jump rings, gold jump rings, I have some ribbon and a little wooden tag that was made specifically for me from Cabin Design Co. out of Canada. And then they're a laser engraved tag made just for me that says Handmade by Lorelei. I'm just opening the jump ring with a couple of pliers here, slipping on that tag and popping it onto the right side of the paper clip. And I closed it. And then I'm going to cut a piece of this ribbon to hang behind that little tag. You could dangle beads here or tassels or whatever you want. I'm just tying this into an overhand knot, and it is a little bit long, so I end up trimming it off at the length I want it. Sorry, this is out of frame as well. There. And I could keep adding things if I wanted, but I think I'm going to keep that just the way it is for now. I'm just grabbing some scraps that I didn't end up using. This one is a little bit wide, so I'm going to pull out my scoreboard and slice about 1/4 of an inch off of this so it will fit in that pocket. Remember that pointy finger? He's coming up next. There he is. And I think I've decided at this point that that's a little bit dull, so I grab a piece of vellum. I'm going to cut down, and I'm just eyeballing this. Cut down a little piece of vellum to go underneath the pointy finger and over top of that acorn paper. You can't tell it's acorns, I don't think, but maybe you can on your screen. And I'm just grabbing one of those little tiny paper clips from Tim Holtz to attach all those together. You could write a little note on that vellum or put a little picture on there if you wanted. There's just so many uses for this type of tag. It could be a gift. It could hold a gift card. It could go inside of an album. Like I said, put it on top of your journal or on the front of your pen pal mail. Here I'm just grabbing some other ephemera to put in the pockets and a couple of tags to throw into the interior pocket or the side pocket. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my other videos. Oh, I'm also gonna put in some enamel dots. And if you have any questions, please leave them down below. I'd be happy to talk about this project with you. If you have questions, I'll be happy to help. So I hope you loved it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take it easy. Bye for now.